Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Sagittarius, our card tonight is the Wheel of Fortune. Choices to be made, right? All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. So immediately I see they're very busy. Dense emotional energies. Definitely... it's like a feeling of walking into a room that's full of candles, right? There's a thickness there. There's a heat there. There is it's a dancing of energy and light and heaviness and the air feels thick. And I see this and that's immediately the energy I'm getting. It is a passion. There is passion here. But it's dangerous, right? To some degree. It maybe feels even a little volatile, right? It is like a candle flame. You cannot grab it, right? You'll put it out. It will burn you. It will burn you. But you have to kind of let it do its thing. It will dance. It will dance. It will dance. And it is something to behold. But you cannot hold it. Yeah. So that's the energy. Let's just start with that. So if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it does help the channel so much, okay? These last couple months into summer, going into summer, have been wild ups and downs with the algorithm. So any engagement is so helpful. I don't want to beg for it. I don't even like mentioning it, honestly, but I guess that's what we got to do here. So also, if you want to leave a comment, please do. If this is your first time watching a reading, I would love to hear from you. Definitely shout it out in the comments. All right, let's see. So we have a big old crab right down here. You can see kind of the little feet and like the long... Is that a Dungeness crab? Like the real long ones, I think. Right? And they're gorgeous. All crab. I have just such a love for crabs. And if you cross-watch it all, you know I'm a big fan of Cancer people as well. I am married to one. And shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My husband Paul over there is an amazing solar Cancer tarot reader. The best. And go check him out. So we have this beautiful large crab right here. I want to keep going before we really kind of dig into that, but we'll go back to it first, okay? We also have a person riding a horse. Right here you can see the head of the horse. You can see the person sitting on the horse. The horse looks like it is moving, right? It's not in a stationary position. Okay, we have what looks like maybe like a demon or a devil head here. You can see the horns. You can see the horns, the eyes. Now, we're going to come back to that. I don't want you to be afraid or be scared of when we see this archetype. If you are familiar with my channel at all, you know this is one of my favorite ones to see. Not because I'm down with you know, down with the devil or anything. But it is an archetype that I love. So we will come right back to that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, and there's the horse again. You can see here's the horse. Here's the person on top of the horse. Now we have another person here. So interesting. We'll come right back around to this. I want to start with the crab. Okay, so the crab to me obviously can be related to Cancer. Okay, that is the zodiac sign, and here I don't feel that energy really at all. But what I do feel is this ability to kind of find home wherever you're at. Okay, so this is if we're thinking about like a hermit crab, if we're thinking about any other kind of little crab, where they not only live in this like very protective exoskeleton, but they are really good at just finding like little crevasses and places to kind of dig up some sand, and they get right in there, and it all settles on them, and yeah, they're home, right? So I do feel that you're in this place in your life where you're not like stuck to any one thing. I don't feel you really tied to an idea of what should be. I feel like there's this openness to the fluidity of life, to the constant minor and large changes that kind of come to pass, and the ability to be quite flexible and find comfort in whatever you're doing. And ultimately, this is maybe one of the most spectacular powers to have, is that you kind of are a journeyer of the universe, right? You aren't so married to the idea of one singular way of living or one singular place. I don't believe that you are somebody who lives in the same house that you've lived in since you were a child. I feel like you definitely have gone out into the world. You have traveled, you have lived different places, done different things, been many different people in your life thus far. And I really strongly believe that this has opened you up to having many perceptions, to being quite accepting, inclusive. I feel you are a person that creates space for people, and space that feels safe for them to be themselves. You are somebody that is not judgmental, or at least not in the way that feels malicious. And I just feel like this kind of happy little crab. Now, I know usually we think of like you're acting crabby, you're being, you're in a mood, right? I don't feel this at all from you. I think that you're just in a place where there's a lightness. You're kind of dancing along that ocean floor, living your life, doing your thing. And I think in this posture, this is a place where you become so much more successful in the things that you put your efforts into, because there's this ability to connect to what you're doing in the present. I don't feel like you are bogged down by these old things, by the baggage, the hurts, the trauma, just the human experience. And we hang on to a lot of the things that we go through, the ordeals that we have to figure out a way to get through. And yeah, that makes sense, right? It's part of our histories. But I feel like you've really done so much work to make sure that you are not chaining yourself to that thing, to those things, to that, well, you know, and I talk about this, and it's a very sensitive subject, but I say this as somebody who, I was victimized as a child, and, you know, in different situations throughout my life. And, you know, a lot of it is related to that early trauma, right? So I want to, it's not really qualifying my ability to say this, but, you know, I'm saying it as a person who is no stranger to pain and you know, to be mistreated, not only mistreated, but to be abused, right? And so we often, when we've been through hardship in our life, and it is all relative, right? To our own experience. But when we've been through hardship, when terrible things have happened, yeah, we do. We take up kind of that, we become victims, you know? And I think very few people in life get through their existence without, in some way, having been a victim, right? Again, it is all relative. But when we really, I mean, we just stay in that mode of identification for long periods of time, it can be quite stifling. It's limiting. It takes away our power. Whatever happened, it continues to live through us because we are feeding into it, if we want to or not. And it's not your fault. It's nobody, you know, it's nobody's fault when we continue to stay in that mode. But when we decide, that's not all I am, that's a part of my story, surely, but it is not all there is. It begins to dissipate, right? A little bit. Maybe not all together. Maybe it never will. I don't think it does. But we find our power. We find our ability to return back to the present. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of mindfulness, a lot of different modalities of therapies, you know, depending on what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You know, learning and developing ourselves as beings. And I feel like you've gotten to this point in your life where, you know, I could see you really refusing, and this is where that devil energy comes in, refusing to be weighted down by it anymore. Now, the devil, we see it, and oftentimes in the depictions of this archetype in the tarot, you'll see the devil kind of standing over people who are, you know, chained, right? Usually we imagine to their vices, to their desires, to their habitual behaviors, whatever it is, right? But when I see the devil, I think, okay, this is a spirit of rebellion. This is an energy that comes into our lives and says, no more. I'm not living like this. I don't care if everybody in the world agrees this is how we live, this is what we do. And you, as a being of light, a being of intelligence, a being of creativity and power, you say, no, this is not how I'm living. And I stand, I do. I stand at odds with it. I shall not do what everybody is doing just because that's what's agreed upon. I will live my life the way that I want to, the way that I need to. If anybody understands that or not my problem. And that is the energy of the devil. The devil card, anyways. So, I look at this and I think, yeah, heck yeah, Sagittarius. This is a time where, it's not just going to go the easy way. You're going to do that hard work. You've been doing it. And what it has done is it has broken those chains that have been around your heart. Those blockages in your psychic channels, in your spiritual, what do they call those? The nades or whatever? I don't know how to say it. But it is the channels of energy that flow through our body. And they're connected to that spiritual element. If you think of something like the astral body, right? Or the spiritual form. It is a mirror. It is a perfect duplicate of our physical form. The energies are the same. So when we have a blockage in the lower, we have a blockage in the higher, and vice versa. And what does it take to dispel that, whatever, that ball of rage or hurt or anxiety, inability, or, to be worried. What will they think? I'll be letting them down. I can't be who I want to be. I don't want to do the things that I want to do because I will offend somebody. My family won't love me anymore. My children will be ashamed of me. No. No. No more of that. We let that go. These are wicked, wicked words that we tell ourselves. Oh, the curses that we speak onto ourselves, the hex that we throw on our own being. And it's through that internal dialogue. The way that we talk to ourselves. The way that we conduct ourselves because we live under the oppression of our perceptions. It's not even always what people think or what the norm is or the conditioning, but it's how we perceive it, and then we apply it to ourselves, and then we are imprisoned by it. But this is not that energy anymore. Not for you, Sagittarius. This is a time of rising. This is a time of great revelation. This is a time of really shining, right? Becoming that light, that powerful, powerful, divine light. Letting it burst out of you. All of those hardships, the hurts, the crying, the loss, the terror, where they have created little fissures in ourselves, right? Where we're afraid to even go to because we know how uncomfortable it is. When that light shines bright, when we let it go, when we just let it absolutely emanate from us, where do you think it's going to shine through? All of those things, all of those cracks that we've tried to hide, that we've been embarrassed about, that we've been afraid to tell people or share about ourselves or, whatever. That's where it comes from. It shines right through. And so let's talk about these horses, right? Riding strong and fast. And it is a movement. Jumping on that horse and just riding wildly into the unknown. There's a confidence that you maybe haven't had for a long time, but it is here now. And I see you moving towards the things that you want to do. Your goals, your dreams. The thing that you always told yourself, I'll never have the time, I'll never have the money, I'm maybe not good enough at this. There are people who do it better. They're smarter, they're more advanced. Yeah, sure, that might be the case. I think about that all the time. There are plenty of diviners, way better than I am. You know, that's just the way it is, right? But I'm not going to let it deter me. You know, if you've stayed with the channel for a while, I go back and forth about how do I do my readings? Do I talk about myself too much? Do I share too much about, you know, this or that? I, you know, kind of diverge from traditional fortune telling, traditional, you know, horoscopes or divining. But we all have to find our way, right? We find our confidence, we find our style, our flavor, and we go with it. To be whatever you are, to be authentic, it's like living a life without lying. You put your head down on the pillow at night, and you're not worried about what you said. Will they find out? What's going to happen? Because you just have been living. You just have been living. You've been living in your power. And I see you on that horse riding towards the thing that you have been dreaming of. Now, I see we have the horse here, and I see we have a person right here, okay? Head right here. It looks like kind of, I just imagine this is like a very kind of mystical being. It feels feminine. I wonder if this is maybe a mother, if this is maybe grandmother, if this is an ancestor, a spirit guide, an angelic energy in your life. But I feel there is just a sense of being held. Going into the places that scare you, going out of your comfort zone. You know, you think, oh, I'm just going to be in terror the whole time. This is going to be really, really scary, you know? It might not work. It might be more awful than I could ever imagine, you know? Uncomfortable. But then you step in, right? You pull the veil back a little bit and you step through. And you see, yeah, it's different. It's different out here. But I am guided. I am not alone. I carry with me a millennia of memory, a millennia of knowledge and wisdom and love. Oh, and the sheer desire to survive. And not only survive, but thrive. You have access to all of that. It is the gift to you that your ancestors, your elders, your spiritual kin bestow upon you. And I see you finding that strength and putting it to use. There's no squandering any of this. You know what you're doing. So up here, I want to look at, we have it looks, and I'm trying to figure out, what does this say? It looks like we have an A and maybe another A. Okay, so maybe AA, or it could be, I'm also looking at, it looks like an 8. So I also, maybe we have an 8 and we have the letter A. Over here we have 22, a 2 and a 2. We also have, where did you go? Another A over here. Okay. Yes. I also want to look at this. It looks like a knight. Okay. Like a knight in shining armor. We have looking up towards the sky here. You can see the shield of armor, which it's right next to that crab, right? And so we also have over here, it looks like a little castle, okay? And we have a heart up here with an arrow as well. So I do feel, there really is just so much bravery here. And I feel like this is really a journey, like a hero's quest even, that you have embarked on because there is no other way. Right? Sometimes we just wake up. It's like we wake up in our own lives. And it's like, yeah, I just want to kind of hang out. I want to do my work. I want to eat good food. I want to watch some good TV. I want to go for some walks. I want to see my family, happy and doing the things that they want to do. And that's cool. And then sometimes we wake up in our own life and we know, guess what? Get the horse packed up because we're going on a mission. We're going on a journey here. This is the beginning of a new era of our lives. And that's, I feel it really is that this is a time where you can't get back into the lull. It's like in the morning, right? You start to wake up and you think, oh, I still have at least another hour here. I can sleep for another hour. And you turn and you can't get comfortable. You turn over again, you can't get comfortable. And you think, oh my gosh, I want to rest some more. I have things to do today. I deserve this time, but you just can't settle back in. And so it's the decision to get up. Let's get up and meet the day, right? And that's the feeling. You've been dislodged. And so now it is the hero's journey. And I feel like this is all about ultimately really building that kind of, interior landscape for yourself, to honor your spiritual work, to honor your existence in the Malkuthian kingdom, right? In the physical realm. And so, yes, sometimes we have to be the ones to kind of not wait for things to start changing drastically. But yeah, we get out there, we do something different. Go a new way. Follow our whims a little bit. And I do feel that there is a sense of romantic love lingering around. We maybe have the letter J up here. This is somebody maybe that you have feelings for, or they have feelings for you, or vice versa, but equally so. Energy kind of matched. And this could be that this is already somebody you are with, your spouse, your long-term relationship, and there's a renewal. It might just be somebody who's at the gym, right? Or somebody at work, you have a crush, it's not going to happen. But yeah, sometimes you like to indulge in thinking about it. All right, let's see. So we have again our little castle, you can see, and it does. Immediately I'm thinking like, okay, this is like walking out to the gate, looking out and deciding, am I going today? Is this the day that we embark? And I do. I feel like this is it. So really look in your life as you have heard this reading and you think, I don't really know what the heck she's talking about. I haven't really had too much different than the norm lately. Maybe had some annoyances and problems and things to deal with, but I don't know. There's no real big situation or, this instinct to go a wholly different way. But I challenge you to kind of sit down and write out, what are those dreams? What are those inclinations? Where do you feel like your life has been maybe disrupted a little bit? If you could think, just right in this moment, close your eyes and think, where do I want to go? If I could just go right now and do whatever I want to do, where would I go? What would I do? It doesn't matter if there's a plan. it doesn't matter. But build off of that. Right? For me, I thought, I want to go to water. I want to go to water. I want to put my feet in the water. And that's it. I'm going to build from that. What does that mean? I don't know. I like the water, though. I like to be in and near the water. But yes, it can be as simple as that. It can be far more complex as well. It doesn't matter. But I want you to sit down and think about it. Write about it. Draw a picture. Do whatever it is you need to do. This is a good exercise, too, for like some free association and things like that. I love free association. You know that I love you as a person if I will do cooperative free association with you, which is literally, it sounds more involved than it is, but it is just going back and forth, right? I say one word, you say something that that word kind of influences you to think. So if I say green and you say, moss, and I say, daydreams, and you say, I don't know, the beloved, and I say, yes, like a fiery pit. And you say, maybe like roasted vegetables, right? And it just goes back and forth. It's a fun way. It's a fun way to kind of explore your mind, right? And it's fun to do with yourself. It's fun to do with other people. And I like to do it with the people I love the most because it is. You're building together. And you're revealing some things. Okay, let's see. Now we have I love right there, and that's it. That is, I feel the love here is the thing. It is the ultimate motivator, right? I'm a bit of a romantic, and so love. Yes, love is the religion. All right, let's take a look. We have the divine doors, and I'm going to go ahead and flip through. We're going to stop where it feels right. Okay. And it says, forgive and forget, a ritual cleansing of pain and lies. Arise and awaken. See a new sunrise. See a new sunrise. All right. Sagittarius, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. If this is your first time, definitely shout it out in the comment section. All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I love you. Again, it is because I do. And we'll talk in a few days from now. Take care of yourself, be safe. We're in the, the hottiness of summer, or maybe it is the slumber of winter where you are. Either way, mind yourself, mind your surroundings, have fun, and enjoy.